Hello viewer, how you doing? Welcome to yet another interesting episode of Blackanese Courier. We're here to tell you about all the pros and cons, the perks of doing business from China or doing business with the Chinese, or importing and exporting from China or into China. On this episode, I intend to tell you all the bottlenecks that are involved, or as much bottlenecks that are involved with doing business from China. If you've not seen our previous videos before, or you're a returning subscriber, do well to give us a thumbs up and share this video with a friend. If you're a new subscriber, welcome to our channel. Make sure you subscribe because we're here to educate you and help you make your business decisions seamless and easy. If you've not seen, we've previously done 10 benefits of importing from China. Do well to check that out as well. But for today's video, we intend to explain to you most of the bottlenecks that are involved with doing business in China. Every business has its pros and its cons. Every business has its ups and its downs, right? We're not here to discourage you, but we're only here to educate you and let you know that this business you're about to go into has a bottleneck that you should look out for. The first and major bottleneck of doing business from China is the language barrier, guys. I mean, it is Chinese, okay? I don't think there's any other language that is as difficult as Chinese. I'm not watering down other languages, but I'm just saying Chinese language is very difficult. Trust me, I speak the language, but I still don't speak as good as I should. But when I'm with other people or foreigners, for instance, they say, yo, Blackie, your Chinese is good. And I'm like, no, my Chinese is not good. I have learned, I think, 3,500 characters so far. And I still have not covered as much as I should, or I still don't speak as fluent as I should. Okay, Chinese language in itself has over 5,000 characters, and just recently they increased the number of characters, I think, to about 7,000. If I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but I think is about 7,000 now. Just for you to get up to the HSK 6 and 7, that's another conversation. But Chinese language is very difficult. No lies about that. But can you learn it? Yes, you can. Can you understand it? Yes, you can. I understood it, right? I learned it and I currently speak it. I read and write. I am able to do it. So if I'm able to do it, I believe you can do it. But is it a barrier? Yes, it is. Number two barrier is the complex process in doing business with China. Now, I say complex because there is the first part of it is sourcing the product, right? First of all, getting the product. You might be seeing the product or seeing the picture of the product, but you cannot read to understand what are the details on the product. And you might not even see the product, right? But it might be existing a different name, or the translation might not be correct. So there's always that complexity when you're ordering or when you're doing business with the Chinese. Communication is a complex process. Placing your order is a complex process. Tracking your order is a complex process. Getting your order is a complex. So the process is, there's just so many layers to doing orders from China. First you source, then you communicate, then you place your order, then you pay, and then you wait, and then you wait, and then you wait. All right. So trust me, the process is very complex, and that is another reason, or rather another factor you should always look out for. Quality, guys. Every person complains about quality. Back in Nigeria, when we say, oh, this stuff is made in China, right? We just every person that you tell this stuff is made in China immediately thinks, oh, this is inferior. Okay. And I mean, it's a stereotype, guys, to be honest, but it is not right. Okay, let's set that record straight. It is not right. But is it existing? Yes, it is. Okay. And it is existing because these guys are open to manufacturing any quality that you ask them to manufacture. So that's where the difference is. A lot of people are not informed that this quality that we consider as low quality or cheap quality are always requested by the manufacturer, or rather by the client who comes to request for this. So let's have at the back of our mind that the quality you get is the quality you demand for. What you get is what you ask for, right? Number four bottleneck is mistakes in production. Okay, let's get this right. Human errors are normal. Okay, as a human, you're bound to make errors. As a human, you're bound to make mistakes. Okay, but some mistakes can be fixed, some mistakes cannot be fixed. Okay, and imagine asking a manufacturer to make 10,000 pieces of this pouch, right? And this manufacturer decides to make 10,000 pieces, and instead of writing Toshiba, he writes Tashiba. Okay, let's say this is TA, right? This could be a typographical error simply by the person who is doing the graphic design. Okay, and then he ends up printing 10,000 pieces of this. You see, that's a huge loss. Okay, so it's either you take the product as it is, or you find a way of making correction, or you find a way of selling it as it is, or you refund whatever. But of course the mistake has been done, and most times you don't get to see the mistakes until the items get to you, which would mean returning it back to China, and that is yet another cost implication. Okay, so always be ready or be aware that mistakes are bound to happen. Okay, especially for people who produce in large quantities, mistakes are bound to happen. You might say you want 10,000 pieces of this jacket, and out of the 10,000, 1,000 should be large, 2,000 should be small, 3,000 should be extra large, right? But the manufacturer might end up doing 3,000 small, 2,000 large. You see, that's an issue already, because that is not what you asked for. Yes, it's the quality, yes, it's the same product, but the order size might be different, or the spelling might be different, or just make sure that you have at the back of your mind that these guys can make mistakes. One, because they're human beings. Two, because they're doing a huge quantity, and they possibly might be under pressure from you asking them to do it on time. So always make room for errors or make room for mistakes. Okay. Number five, and this is quite delicate, loss of money. Okay. Yet again, I will always like to blame this on the human side of it. Now, there are so many mistakes that could amount to loss of money, or rather, there are so many intentional actions that could amount to the loss of your money. But would you be able to lose money? Yes, you can. Would you be able to not retrieve your goods? Yes, you can. Why? Because there's something called scammers. Okay? And scammers are everywhere. They might not necessarily be Chinese. Okay? They might be other nationalities living in China. But simply because their location is based in China, we simply assume these people are Chinese. Not necessarily they are Chinese. I'm not writing them off, but I'm just saying you are liable to be scammed. Okay, so just have at the back of your mind that whoever you're trying to transact with, or whoever you're linking up with, or whoever you're trying to have a conversation with, that person could possibly scam you. I've been in situations where I've had to travel to other cities to help people get back their money from suppliers, or get back their money from people they had paid, thinking they were going to offer them services or offer them goods, and then there was nothing coming forth, and I had to go and retrieve that money for them on different occasions, guys. So this is me telling you a practical example or practical experience that you could be scammed. So when you're doing business with someone online, be rest assured that there is the chance of being scammed. The person might be doing business with you for a whole year, right? And he or she is delivering on time, is delivering when needed. But life happens, guys, and temptation happens, and situations happens, and this person might decide to flip on you. And if that happens, trust me, you could just be sitting there and say, "Ah, well, I've been dealing with this guy for so long. What happened?" life happened. Okay, so just have it in the back of your mind that you could lose money, not just via scam, but you could lose money even on transit. Now, there are some goods um, that are forbidden to exit China, okay? Or you would need some form of permit for you to be able to export those goods from China, right? And your manufacturer might not even be aware, or your manufacturer might not even tell you simply because he or she wants the money you're paying them. So they'll go ahead and manufacture the goods for you and send it to the port and leave you to deal with Chinese customs. Whereas Chinese customs will tell you, no, these goods, you need XYZ paper or you need XYZ permits to let these goods out. And you can't get them because they've left wherever they should have been inspected from. The complexity is so much. So there is a room for loss of money in different form and different shapes and different sizes, okay? In different quantity you can lose money. So just have it in the back of your mind that if you're doing business from here, you can lose money. Now, to hit back on the scammer part, right? As I said earlier, you relating with scammers might not necessarily be Chinese because there are other nationalities living here, right? So let's not stereotype it or let's not make it look as if, oh, it's only the Chinese that would scam you because you're doing business from China, or the person is speaking Chinese, or the person's profile picture is a Chinese, or the person's DP. No, don't do that. Look at it as you're dealing with a human being like you who is out there to scam you or who is out there to rob you of your wealth. Okay. So, and then there are so many people who their websites, let me use the word, their websites that mirror the original website, and then they'll make it look as if this website belongs to the original website, and you will go there, you will see everything that's on that website. It looks the same or exactly like the original website, right? And then you will now find out that this website would not deliver what you order for, or by the time you make payment or you put in your card, you now start seeing withdrawals from your account, or you will not even get a response from them anymore. There are those websites that actually exist. So please be on the lookout, especially for the URL. Make sure you check the URL. Make sure you check that this URL is correct. And thank you to Google. They now let us know whether a website is secure or is not secure. The moment you see a website is not secure, please run. If you can't verify, run away, because there are people who mirror this website, okay? And then there are people who would answer you, they will lure you, they will tell you everything, send you pictures. You could even go as far as telling them, okay, send me live picture, and they would send you live pictures, right? But at the end of the day, they will run away with your money. So please have a back of your mind that scammers do exist. Another bottleneck is the lack of trust, which, I mean, we're all human beings, right? So lack of trust would naturally come because I'm dealing with you online. There's no face to you. I don't know you. I can't explain where you are. I don't know your address. I don't even know what you look like. All right. So definitely lack of trust would come in. So give room for a little bit of trust. Okay. Understand that this person is also trying to trust you as much as you are trying to trust them. So it's a give and take situation. If the person is opening up to trust you, I advise you also try to open up to trust them, but be smart about it. Okay. Delays in delivery. Now, this is a whole topic on its own, right? And I hope to do a video about it, especially explaining all the different seasons in China, all the holidays in China, and when you should order and when you should not order. I'll do a whole video about that. But there is always delays in delivery. There is always delays in delivery. And these delays, most times, they are not from the manufacturer or from um, the the client you're trying to get. No, most times these delays come from the general timing in the country. Okay, China has lots of holidays. China has lots of break periods, right? So you need to factor in those periods, you need to factor in those timings, whereas you place your order at the right time. Okay, so I will do a whole video about that, but just know that one bottleneck you should look out for is there is always chances of delays in delivery, right? It will get to you eventually, but it might just not get to you at the time you want. So, yet again, this is another topic of its own. Chinese customs are strict, and I'm saying this with all honesty. I've had lots of friends and clients reach out to me to say, "Oh, Blackie, how far now? Let me check. This item has not, this container has not arrived, though, or this bag has not arrived. I sent it since 2 months ago. The supplier has sent it out, and it hasn't gotten to me." See, most times when you send out when you send out your goods and they don't get to you, most of the time it's been seized by custom, and it's seized by custom because there is a document that is expected, or there is a check, or there is a receipt. There's something that needs to be done. These guys are very strict. Trust me, they don't mess with their rules when it comes to Chinese customs. They will seize, they don't mind seizing the whole container simply because of a small item as this. If this item has liquid in it, they would hold the whole container. For instance, in Guam, they can hold the whole thing, right? Simply because there's an item with liquid that is trying to pass through a channel that does not allow liquid. Okay, so always check in with your forwarder. Always check in with your forwarder, that make sure what you're sending through them, you clearly explain to them that you are sending XYZ, so they can tell you how best to route it. Okay, but when you don't tell your forwarder, "Oh, there's liquid in this item, or there's a powder in this item, or there's battery in this item," he or she might just simply bag it up and send it. And by the end, by the time he bags it or sends it, it will get to the customer, and customer will seize it. And he's not aware, because when we start to bag goods, right, there's a lot of goods. Imagine sending out 100 kg of goods in one night. You will not be able to scrutinize everything. But once you send your shipping agent a checklist, your shipping agent will be able to know, okay, inside this bag, there is XYZ battery, there's XYZ liquid, there's XYZ. You will be able to, that shipper will be able to know, and he or she would be able to determine or tell you where to send what. Okay, so always communicate to avoid stories that touch. Thumbs up to you guys for sticking around to the end of the video. I really appreciate you watching this with me, or working through this with me. Remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel, turn on the bell notification, so when I do other videos, as I mentioned, you will definitely get a notification that, yo, a new video has dropped. So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that there's a new channel, or there's someone somewhere educating us and enlightening us about doing business from China. Until I come your way again, see you next time. Bye for now. I remain Naman Blackie. See ya.